Everybody's talking about how to create one-person businesses with the help of AI, but no one's really actually showing you the automations behind it. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the exact automations that I use in my one-person business as a stay-at-home mom with no employees. Now, to clarify, I have a very simple business model on purpose. I sell my digital products and my membership via YouTube and email marketing. So the majority of the work that I actually do in my business is research and creating content. That's it. Now, with that said, I'm able to spend only about 10 hours per week in my business with the help of the automations that I'm going to be sharing with you. So let's start with my content automations, which is the driving force of my marketing. Now, since I exclusively create YouTube content, a lot of my time is spent researching, filming, and editing my videos. Now, before these automations, a lot of time went into doing those tasks. And some weeks I would even skip my YouTube videos because I just did not have the capacity as a stay-at-home mom. So I created these automations to be able to clear up my schedule and allow me to automate it so that I was not bogged down and I could operate in my business in less time. So I leveraged Claude Cowork to be able to create the first automation that I'm going to share, which is going to be my research automation. Now, I've already done a video where I break down the specific details of this automation. So if you're interested in that, if you want to implement it in your business, then you can always check that video out. I will link it at the end of this one. Nonetheless, I have a Cowork automation that's scheduled every week that allows me to do my research via competitor research. So this automation is a weekly competitor outlier scan. And what it does is it goes through my competitors within my niches for my YouTube channels that I have, and it pulls out the trending topics or the outliers, the videos that are outperforming what they would typically do for that channel. And this allows me to just be able to quickly filter through what's trending so that I can create content around that topic if I so choose. So this automation allows me to do that. It's going to pull those trending topics and it's going to add it to my Airtable dashboard that allows me to review it and then ultimately decide if I want to create content around this. Now, this has eliminated so much time out of my schedule because I'm not having to individually go on YouTube, search my competitors, or even when I was using a tool like vidIQ, I didn't have to go in and kind of log and see what was trending or was not. This does all of the work for me and literally cuts down hours of my time. So I'm able to quickly research with the help of this automation so that I don't have to waste hours doing it manually. Now, of course, once I have those content topics and ideas, the next thing that I have to do is actually script out my videos so that I can record that content. So this is where my next automation comes into play, and that is going to be my daily script generation. Now, based on the content that I decide that I want to work on, based on what's trending at the time, I do have an automation that will go in and actually script out that content, give me the script to review so that I could then record it. So once that last automation is done, I decide on which content I actually want to record. I simply change the status of it in my Airtable, and then it automatically triggers this scheduled task to create a script. Now, within my Claude, I already have projects that basically outline my script format, my template, my voice and tone that allow Claude to do a first draft of the script for that particular video that I'm going to record. Now, all I have to do is go through it, modify the things that I want to talk about so that I can actually record. And this is a process that I actually use for this video. It was an outlier that was identified. The script was generated automatically. I went in and added some things, modified it a bit, and now I'm recording this video. So this is how this automation works in real time, allowing me to be able to manage my business as a stay-at-home mom with limited time. Now, of course, after I have recorded the scripts, I've recorded the video, the next step in my process is to actually edit. Now, for this, I use another AI tool, which is called Descript. Now, Descript is an editing tool that allows you to edit via transcript. So you're simply able to go in there, look at the transcript, and you're able to delete, modify, move, copy, paste things within the video based on the text. Now, although I use that aspect of Descript, I mostly use their AI tool and its AI capabilities to help automate my process for editing my videos, or at least doing a rough cut of my videos. So I simply go into their editing tool. I'm able to give it a prompt and it automatically begins editing the video for me. So it'll take out things like word gaps. It'll take out filler words like and ah. It'll take all of those out. It will take out duplicates. So if I say things more than one time, it has the ability to do that. So I'm just able to enter in a prompt, and that allows it to automatically begin editing my videos. Now, sometimes I take these rough cuts and I send it to a video editor who is contracted on a project basis, and they are able to take the rest of the edits all the way through. Or if I'm strapped on time, I don't have time to wait for an editor, I will continue editing the video myself, leveraging the AI. So allowing it to add zoom in and zoom out. It also has the capability of adding B-roll and adjusting the sound and the audio. So these are all things that I'm leveraging AI to automatically do on my behalf so that I don't have to worry about it. Now, there are some scripts that you can run so that it could literally automatically do this. I don't allow it to completely 100% do it for me because I do want to make sure everything is the way that I want it to be. Nonetheless, this is another tool and an automation and AI capability that I leverage in my business so that I can continue to run it as lean as possible without having to always hire a team or even contractors. Now, these content automations really do the heavy lifting for me within my business, but I don't just do YouTube videos. I also market via email marketing. So these next set of automations and AI tools allow me to do this effectively as well. So let's talk about my email marketing automations. Now, when it comes to email marketing, we all know that consistency matters. You want to be consistent, whether you're just creating a newsletter or if you're doing consistent sales emails throughout the week, which is what I do. And so this is another thing that I found would be bogged up or not done because I just didn't have the time or capacity to sit down and write emails every single week. So with that said, I decided to automate it, and I'm using Claude Cowork to be able to do that. So I also have a weekly emails automation. And so essentially what this scheduled task does in Claude Cowork is that it pulls from my project of all of my past emails that have performed well. So it has a high open rate, it has a high click-through rate, and essentially it's made sales for me in the past. I use all that historical emails within a project that Claude is able to access and ultimately write emails for me. So essentially this particular task is instructed to reference my project file that has all of my past emails so that it can understand my voice, my tone, how I write. It looks for any kind of similarities and patterns within my writing, and it was able to create a template by which it then was be able to produce additional emails. Now from that, it then puts those emails as drafts within my Airtable for me to go in and edit and modify. And from there, I could simply schedule those emails within my CRM to automatically go out to my email list. I could have my VA do it, which all of that could be automated essentially, and I could be taken out of the process. But right now, this automation is set up to reference my old emails and to generate 5 new emails per week for me to be able to edit, modify, and then ultimately send out to my email list. And it's been super effective because now I don't have to sit down and stare at a blank screen. I have all the things that I need to get started in writing my emails so that I can be consistent with sending out emails to my email list and ultimately making sales as a result. So once that scheduled task runs, it is able to add a line into my Airtable, my email marketing dashboard in Airtable, and it gives me the subject line, and it also gives me the body of the email. I can go in here and I can make any edits to the email that I want to. Once those edits are made, I can then schedule it in my CRM and it automatically goes out. Or I could simply do something where I change the status and it's assigned to my VA and she's able to do it. So there are so many ways to leverage this, to automate it such that you are able to maximize your time and leverage AI and automation in order to be more productive in your business. Now, because I do run a high volume digital product business, customer service is inevitable. And that's why I also include automations in my customer service workflows as well. So let's head over to my Gmail so that I can show you exactly how this works in my business. Now, I will get occasional customer service emails where people are like, hey, I don't see the email, or the link may not be working, whatever the case may be. We do get customer service emails. It's inevitable if you sell a high volume of digital products. But with that said, I don't want to have to handle customer service issues all day. I honestly just don't want to handle them at all. That's not my ministry. So instead, I set up an automation to handle that instead. So the way this automation is set up is when we get a customer support email to the business email account, Gmail is able to filter it through on certain conditions. So we saw a pattern in how those emails came in, and I created a filter that allowed it to, one, skip my inbox, so I'm not having to worry about it. It completely skips my inbox. It's not my ministry. It then gets labeled for customer support, and that allows it to be filtered out in a way that is organized within the inbox. Then that email automatically gets forwarded to my VA. So it goes to my admin email, and she's able to see those emails and ultimately handle the customer support issue. Additionally, when that email is received, so if someone sends us a customer support email saying, hey, I don't see the email, or hey, the link may not be working, they're automatically going to get an email that says, hey, we received your email and we're going to respond within 24 hours. That just acknowledges the fact that we've received the email, so it allows us to address their customer service issue. It's being addressed immediately, and then it gives us time in the back end to actually address it on the back end. And again, like I said, my VA handles all of that. So if y'all email me, no, it's not going to be me responding 99% of the time. So this is another automation that literally helps with the load of the work that comes with the type of business that I have, and it just keeps my mental space clear. So this is an automation that really helps me be able to run my business with the help of my VA in this particular case. Now, if I did not have a VA, then I could easily create some kind of automation based on the filters that would auto respond based on certain conditions. That is definitely a possibility. So if it ever came a time where my VA was not able to support me anymore, I would set up an automation that will allow Gmail to automatically respond, draft up the email, and just automatically send it out. That is a possibility. I just have not explored it yet, and I'm not really interested. I would rather have a human interacting with other humans. But if push came to shove, that is an automation that I could put in place for my business. So these are the main automations that I use in my business on a day-to-day basis. So hopefully this gave you a realistic view of what it's like to have a one-person business with the help of AI. No employees. My VA isn't an employee. She's contracted. The video editors that I use are not employees. They're project-based contractors. So essentially I'm running this business on my own with little support and with the help of these automations. And I'm able to do so effectively and efficiently with my peace of mind. So if you're interested in this type of content, let me know in the comments. If you're interested in having me help you set up automations in your business, let me know in the comments. In the meantime, check out this video where I break down my entire YouTube content creation automation.